My husband named our daughter after his ex-girlfriend. Story time. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, me and my husband had so many discussions about what to name her. And we both only ever wanted one child, so this was really important to us. Then one day, my husband suggested the name Amy, and I love this name. And I'm not gonna lie, I had always wondered why he really liked that name and why he chose it in the first place. I always wondered if it was someone he once knew or if it was a relative, but he always just said that he just really liked the name. And you know, so did I, so that was the name we went with. So a few months later, our darling daughter Amy was born. So my husband had never really spoken too much about his past relationships. I'd always made a bit of an effort to ask, but he always said that there was no one special to mention. He'd never met anybody like me before. So I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really push for it. I just accepted it because I thought, you know what? Solid answer. So when my daughter was a few months old, I decided that it was time to have a clear out the house. So I decided I'd start with the attic. And I wish I'd never done it. Wish I'd never done it. I found a box of letters that my husband had written to a woman called Amy. I had found my husband's love letters to his ex. And in this, they're talking about getting married, their future together. Now, I'm a confrontational queen, so I asked him about it and he just blew it off like it was no big deal. He said that he dated Amy back in high school and that he just really liked the name even before dating her. Okay, Steve, whatever you say. He said that he never told me it was obviously his name of his ex because he didn't want me to get mad. Well, guess what, Steve? Now I'm mad. And now every single time I look at my darling daughter, I can't stop thinking about his stupid ex. Listen, I tried to accept the fact that it's no big deal, but this is just something I cannot get on board with. So it's been years since this happened and he thinks that I don't care anymore. Recently, I've been playing it to Steve like, God, don't you think Amy is so lonely? She'd love a little brother or sister. I suggested that we should try for another baby. And he was not into this, but that didn't stop me. Let's just say that I got pregnant again. Steve wasn't the happiest about this, but I know that deep down he was genuinely excited. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a rough pregnancy, but we ended up having a little baby boy. Wonder what we're gonna call it. And my husband said that since he chose our daughter's name, I could choose our son's name. Steve was telling me that he couldn't believe that he didn't want another baby. He loved this baby so much. I decided that we were gonna call this new baby Dave. We were in such a little bubble when we were in the hospital. But as soon as we got back and we were home, I packed my bags and I moved in with Dave. Obviously not the baby Dave, my ex-boyfriend Dave. I had already sorted out all of the divorce papers to hand to my ex. I should be expecting child support anytime soon. Mine and Dave's spark is just as bright as it was back in high school. And I am so glad that we've managed to rekindle all of this after years of texting throughout my marriage. Even though my new Dave doesn't have the biological father that he thinks he does, I'm gonna end up changing his name. And my plan is that my ex Steve will have custody of Amy and I will have custody of Dave Jr. I'm sorry, what? This has to be the most over-the-top reaction to this type of thing that I've ever seen. I have 3 questions. 1, why was he keeping the letters from his ex? 2, what the hell did you do to fall pregnant again? And 3, how long had you been planning to leave Steve for? I beg you, leave your opinions in the comments.